didn't make it out. I went and I had it blown up extra large. In color. On page, first I'm going to show them the small version of the picture. And then I'm going to show them the blown up version. On page 211. It shows in the caption, when you read there, in the caption that I have circled there, it lets you know that those are Viking men ready to go to war. Now on the camera, it looks like a small image of blacks on a boat. But that's not good enough. So I want to see what did it look like when you blow it up. So that you can't say, well, it's on a borderline. Yeah, you can come up and look at it. I wanted to make sure that you wouldn't be able to go back and tell the British that it's borderline, I can't make it out. You can clearly see that these are black people on this boat. They don't look like you. They don't look like Dennis the Menace, Leaf the Deep, Father Knows Best. None of those people. They're blacks on that boat. They didn't get a suntan. They didn't use any get dark pills. They are natural born black men. And you know what? When I went to the comedy center called Kiko's, and I made this image, the guy, there was a European guy in there, he knew about this. He was very angry with me, he was pissed off. He followed me in the place. You know what he said? What do you intend to do with this information? You know what I said to him? I said, what do you think? And he growled like a lion.
But so if I brought in a manuscript and if they all looked white in the picture, then which would be the correct interpretation?
I put it to you like this. Let me ask you something, question.
See,
No, wait, no, okay, I'm going to answer you. No, I'm going to answer your question. Okay. Who's running the world right now? Is it Puerto Ricans? Is it blacks? Is it Africans? Who's running the world right now? Economically and militarily. Who's in charge? That's not, no. See, there you go. See, you're not being right. You're saying the system. Okay, let me give you that. I'll give you that. Whose system?
I don't think there's anyone in charge of the system.
You're very wrong. Wait a minute, sir. You are very wrong when you say there's no one in charge of this system. Because this little book right here tells you exactly who's in charge of this system.
You don't want to believe that.
Oh yes, I believe this wholeheartedly because I researched it and I found it out. And I know where they hold their secret meetings at. Let me say, well, you should know, you went to Oxford. Let me say, you're probably a member of yourself. But let me say this to you. There is someone in charge of the system. Whites are ruling the world academically, they're ruling the world economically, and they're ruling the world militarily. America just told the people in council, if you don't be out of town by 12, we're going to come in and bomb with stealth bombing. Right or wrong? They went over there to no avail. They got nothing done. They're Look the word German up. You know words have meaning. They're very important. You know the word England means? What does the word, here's what England means. What does the word England mean?
Does it mean,
Yes, you went to Oxford. Yes.
yeah, I think I know, but
Okay, what does it mean?
does it mean angle land?
Anglo-land. What does the word Anglo-Saxon?
What are the Angles and the Saxons, Germanic
What
tribes?
is, yes, but what is the word Anglo-Saxon? That's amazing. I don't know how you can go to Harvard. And that's that. You got to, I mean, not Harvard, Oxford. Oh, wait. You went to Oxford, you don't know what the simple word Anglo-Saxon. It means angel sons of Isaac. Look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. Okay. You're from England. What is the word British?
I just don't know. Okay.
Is this a show? Well, we're not. This is a look. We're serious here. You're going to stand and tell me you don't know what the word British means?
No, I do know what it means.
Break it down. British.
Coming from British.
Ish.
It's coming from British.
Yeah, coming from Britain, coming from the covenant. Britain means a covenant. The word Britain means covenant people, for sure. Britain. Brit is Hebrew. Brit means covenant. British means covenant. Now, ish is man. All this is Hebrew. Now, go back to the start of German. They all came out of Germanics. What the word German means? Genuine. Genuine what? Jews. When you go back in the records, you see that they're genuine Jews. We have a tape on it where the scholars and ministers talking about this. That's the truth.
But you don't
That's the
know.
truth. And that you don't know it because they lied to you. That's why you don't know. It's like they lied to everybody else in this world. That's why you don't know. But the scholars, the ones that's collecting the information are the scholars. The top scholars and the top historians, they know the truth. They know the truth. Most of these books that we pull out is put out by them. Tell the truth.
Can we run down?
You know what I'm saying? Most of the books we put out. You have a book over there.
Can we run
show
down
earlier?
to clarify? Can we run down historic? Can we
Not
run
that
down?
one.
So,
Yes.
can we run down key historical figures and you'll tell me if they're
Yeah, the one with the image. Hold on a minute. He has a book over there with the image of
The Supreme Court Justice?
no, the first is the great-grandfather.
Not that great.
Yeah.
Right. 44.
Can we?
Yes, we would do that.
Yeah, I just get that as a
So
question.
that comes from England.
May I?
Listen a minute. This comes from England. These are
You're going to tell me
regular.
you can't see these guys as black, right?
What's happening? It's so unfair. There's so many against one.
No, we're not, look.
No, we're not
stand for truth.
we're not fighting. We're not arguing. We're talking about facts.
Yeah.
We're bringing out the facts. They're behind.
See that?
What?
These are black men. Al Thompson and St. Jude's place. They're black. Do you see that? With your glasses, do you see that? Oh, it's borderline. I can't think. Get there, wait. Are you on crack? You see that these guys are black. The cameraman sees they're black. But because you're an Oxford student, you can talk like old Bill Clinton. You can talk that I did not have sex with that woman. Listen, see, you're talking a lie when you see the truth. See, you know, wait a minute. You're going to tell me these guys are not black. Answer that question. Are you going to tell me you can't see that they're black?
Borderline.
It's no borderline. It looks like charcoal to me. I can get any black person off the street or any other white guy. It's not from Oxford. These are black guys.
You saw that the
They
other,
could just as
you
easily
saw that the
be-
other pictures were black.
could be-
You saw that these were black.
I guess if I take a picture now, I'm white.
No, you saw that these were
Who's
black.
with me? Come on. Who's with me? Is anyone with me here?
Yeah, there's someone with you.
Let me say,
Borderline, anyone?
let me say this, maybe I can add on a little clarity to the whole thing too as well. Probably during the 1400s, the Renaissance period,
history as a record of being underplayed, misrepresented by the establishment, then you'll have no disagreement with me. I totally agree with that.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's fine. I mean, there's some of the minutiae I can take issue with, but
Not only in
we
America, we're not saying this is only done in America. Listen, this was done in Europe too, because the original Europeans were black. Do you know where the name of Europe comes from? Now you study, you went to, they're supposed to teach you that. Where did the name Europe come from?
Oh, come on.
Wait a minute. A black Hebrew princess named Europa. That's where the name Europe came from. A black Canaanite Hebrew princess. If you go and do research, you find that. If you go on Westminster Avenue, you say you've been in there, and you're going to tell me you didn't see all the black people, everything in there, but
They were all born
even the stuff they tried to wipe down was black. No, this is serious. This is serious. Okay? When you went in Westminster Avenue, you saw everything was black in it. Otherwise, you're going to tell me a lie. Even when you went down in another section where they had the paintings on the wall, and they tried to wipe some of them down, you can see the black on their hands, on the side of their face, pictures of them with Christ and all that, different sections of Westminster Avenue. You had to see that if you went in there. And you had to see Mary Queen of Scots if you went in there. You had to see a black image landing on top of a cross. And you had to see others standing up behind glass. Black.
I think I know where you're confused. I think
The main group that today that's behind destroying this black art is there's a group called the Greek Orthodox. And they've taken original icons, cut the whole images out of it, and then replaced it with European featured whitewashed images. So they're very much responsible for destroying this black art in different parts of the world. Another fact, the Egyptians, we know that they're black people, and all black people. Now, the archaeologists have dug up many mummies of the pharaohs and so forth, of the kings of Egypt. Not only are the mummies in Egypt black, but the mummies of many sepulchres and tombs of the ancient Hebrews, of the ancient Jews. And also, whatever happened to all these mummies, I can pretty much tell you what has happened to these mummies, and these sepulchres of the Hebrew Israelites. They're probably in some giant museum somewhere in storage. Why? Because they brought these mummies out of the ancient kings like, for instance, Ahaz, ancient kings like David, kings like Solomon. They brought these sepulchres out and showed the mummies, the bodies of these people. The world would be in shock because it was shown clearly that these were black men, and they were all black men. The whole area of the Middle East at one time, and Europe, was called the land of Kedar. When you look up the word Kedar, it means dark-skinned man. So we know for a fact, and we've studied and we've researched, and we found all these things to be true, and this is what we bring to the world. But the world is rejecting it, because this is going to overturn all the history books on the planet that have been produced by the white society.
All black men. I want you to listen to this. He showed you a picture in another book of Al Seston. Okay, what you say, Applestand. Okay. Now, the same picture I showed you again in this book, Michael York Wood. Michael Wood. See, no. See? In Search of the Dark Age.
Yeah, it was a TV series.
Now,
That was on BBC too.
you're going to tell me that this is not black. Try and tell me that's not black. Try and tell me that. Get that on the camera. Try and tell me that this is not black.
What's the book? Who wrote the
In Search of the Dark Ages by Michael Woods. In Search of the Dark Ages by Michael
And he
Woods.
curses out your scholars. He curses them out.
Yeah. Let them get a picture of this. Let them get a good
Michael
picture.
He works for the BBC. He's a BBC
Doesn't
fan.
matter. ancient Jewish art.
Does the cameraman do this?
Ancient Jewish art. Wonder what could be inside this. Page 73 or 74. Now this is in the land of Israel, which I've mentioned many times, which we constantly go to. I mean, that's our home. So it's Egypt. Oh, what do we have here? It says the Exodus from Egypt, the crossing of the Red Sea. Moses and Aaron lead the children of Israel out of the land.
Show it to me, then we'll get a cutaway.
Huh?
If you show it to me, then we'll get a shot.
Okay. Now you go ahead and stand there and tell me these are borderline guys. You don't know if they look like Ahmed Diallo or Mayor Julian. So stand there and tell me you don't know what they look like. You mean to tell me you can talk the lie so well that when the truth smacks you in your esophagus, that you just have to lie. You understand that and tell me you don't see two black guys and black people behind them with afros. Look at them. Don't look at me. Look at the picture. Look at it. Look. It's right there in front of you. Because look, within another year or so, he's going to be faced with this again on a global level. You know what you're going to say? The thought is going to come in your mind. You know what? Some guys told me this years ago in New York. Can you see that these are black people? Can you see that these are blacks?
In the picture?
Yes, in the picture. In the book, in the picture.
These are dark-skinned people.
The word black couldn't come out of his mouth. But dark skin is good enough. That's good enough, Mr. C. I know you have a political mind. And you always have to go the other way. No matter what question is posed in front of you, whether you just come straight out and say, look, I'm still black.
Okay, let me say it. They are black people.
Give the man a hand. We got to give him a little hand clap. I like this. We finally came out, you know. So if you know that, then you know the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer doesn't exist. But anyway, that's another story. Anyway, put this back. And, no,
Can we do the historical figures?
I want him to get a copy of this.
Yeah, we got to get it.
I don't want the BBC to miss this, although I don't believe that you're going to show all these images.
Well, we can't. We've only got a 50-minute
No, I know it doesn't matter, but in 50 minutes, can you show some black images?
Yeah.
That's what we talked about, more than one?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Okay, show them that picture.
But you know, I told you, I'm sure like the biblical people look more like you than they look like me.
Well, that's a very, would you say that's very significant?
Yeah, but we probably agreed on that.
Oh, we agreed on that. I want the cameraman. The cameraman get a shot of that.
It's just a 2-minute rest, breather.
A 2-minute breather. He didn't get a shot of that.
No, but we're going to.
Okay, well, hold it. Now, you want to ask me about historical figures. You want to take a break?
There's a heavy camera.
Do all you guys want to take a break?
No, I'm not speaking. I'm sorry.
I was saying you can read where we can hear you, so we know you're not.
Yeah, the camera's back, so
Well, the camera, can we say
what's
that?
the name of the
It's
book?
interesting.
Name of the book.
He doesn't want to read that book.
Because I want to do the historical.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the historical thing.
Louis going to ask you a question.
Louis has it right. This is a democracy.
Can we do from here or that
Any
way?
questions?
Why don't we go back to where you are?
Louis, it doesn't matter if you stand here or on the ceiling. The truth is here.
We can stay here.
You can stand here. It doesn't matter where you stand. See, I know you're Oxford guys. I know you. I know you well. I know you like the book. The Oxford guys are trained within a certain criteria to act a certain way and to negate facts. So that your power can be beat.
What about the Cambridge guys?
Same thing. Same thing with other institutions that are set up by the something you said I shouldn't believe.
Yeah, the Illuminati stuff. I've come across that before. That's not based.
You heard of Rothschild?
All right, can we do historical figures?
Well, this guy's amazing. This is amazing, man. It's amazing how, you know, how far you will go. You know, the Illuminati is not based in fact.
So can I list historical figures conventionally viewed as, I guess, Caucasian
Yeah,
or white?
you can give us an intelligence. You can give us an intelligence test, yes. In chronological order, give us a name or date.
May I give you a list of historical figures
stop. We
Mozart.
can prove it. Oh, stop.
No, 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 no.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. We can bring this picture out. We got it, yeah. We don't want us to show the picture.
We'll do that later.
All right, Beethoven was black.
Mozart.
Black.
Cleopatra.
Listen close. Listen close. She looked black, but she was white. Because listen, see, that's what we explained this earlier to you. It's not the color of your skin that you're being judged by, but the seed of your father. Very simple. Who's Cleopatra's father?
She looked black.
Listen, you're not answering my question. Now, the father. Who was the father? Who was the father?
She looked black, but she was
You're
white.
still dumbfounded over that. The father was a white man. Okay? Do you understand that? Ptolemaic dynasty. After the Ptolemaic dynasty, who was the father?
She looked black, but she was white.
I can't understand it. He's still blown away.
The Ptolemaic dynasty, just listen, the Ptolemaic dynasty was under Alexander the Greek. They were Greeks. When Alexander the Greek died, he split up his empire. He gave Egypt to Ptolemy. You know that part of history, right? And eventually, the Middle East, I can ask the
Stop that. Stop lying. Stop it.
Alexander the Greek, when he was dying, he split up his empire. He was ruling over black people. In the Middle East, and all these were black people that he was ruling over. In Egypt, Middle East, all those were black people. India, black people.
Alfred the Great.
Black.
Should we stay on with
You got upset over that after the great. I see that.
keep similar
No,
values?
the spirit moved on that. Wait a minute. You still didn't answer my question.
Okay.
Cleopatra, you didn't tell me who
Well,
her father
I'm
was.
going.
Yeah, but why you have a problem answering who Cleopatra's father was?
I don't know. William. Okay. William.
Cleopatra's father was Greek, okay?
Ptolemaic dynasty.
Do you have a problem with that? Her father was a Greek Caucasian.
But he looked black.
No, not him. She looked black because his wife was black. Egyptian, in other words. Egyptians are black.
William Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black, without question. We have the picture. We have the book here. Here's the book. Wait a minute. William Shakespeare. We have his image here. Can we go to it? Okay, read the document. Open it up. Let's go to William Shakespeare. Can we go to this? Let me ask the question. Can we go to William Shakespeare?
No.
Why are you telling me we can't? If this is racism you're using. Wait a minute. You're using racism in this interview. You're telling me that we're not allowed to show a black face on a white TV show.
See, we want to make sure.
We want to make sure that statements that we make can be substantiated with facts. We have the image of William Shakespeare. When you go to the front of the book, you see this little whitewashed image of William Shakespeare. Listen now. Listen closely. Don't fall off the horse. You see a white image here in the front of the book. But when you go to the back of the book, like they like to put us in the back of the Bible, go to the back of the book and let's see what Shakespeare looked like. His original image, which is still in England today. You got it? Here he is. Doesn't look like the little white guy, does it? You can read the little highlighted part. And it will just, don't run now. Don't go out the room. Don't run out the room. You can read the highlighted part. It will tell you that this is Shakespeare. Yes, don't lose your glasses. Hold on, we don't want you to have a heart attack.
Can we do the other one?
Can you read this for the BBC?
The monument installed in 1605 is discussed in relation to the Shakespeare.
Stop. It's discussed in relation to who? Alfred the Great? Constantine? No. William Shakespeare. Who? I can't hear you. This is not the Jerry Springer show. Who? William who? It's discussed in relation to being who? William who? William Tell?
William Shakespeare.
Thank you. Boy, I had to beat it out of you. You guys are phenomenal. Yes. Now, read this part. On page 255.
It says this.
The camera's not in this connection. Let them get this on the camera, please. I know you're not going to show this when you get back to England, because there's certain societies going to say, you can't show that. What are you trying to know? What are you, not for a fire?
It was painted.
Of being in the image of Shakespeare. Whitewash, the turn him into a white guy. Okay, now,
Can we
Yes,
can we
we
do
can.
that right? Moving forward.
Certainly.
We just keep going on that kind of rhythm.
All right, you can feed me next to it. It's not an interruption.
Okay, I'll feed you that.
But can you,
You said I can feed you
Yeah,
that?
I'm going to ask you though.
Oh,
I'm not trying to know. I'm not trying to go on things you don't know.
We just want it back.
you want a back and forth collaboration?
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
and
Yeah.
can you wait for the cameras up before you answer?
Just a beat. Takes me a second.
Shoot.
All right.
Mozart,
Black,
Shakespeare.
black.
We're going to do that again. 'Cause
Yeah.
you
You've got to wait for the cameras to stop.
Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black.
Alfred the Great.
Undoubtedly black.
Um,
You're not going to ask me why am I making these statements?
Beethoven.
That's easy. Black.
Napoleon.
White. Stop.
Okay.
Although he had that help from blacks.
And he had traces of black in his ancestral line. You got that in the register.
Good. So that was a good one.
You see, you saw what
Okay, I've got a good one.
the signal that he made with his eyes to his colleague over here, right? He's amazed that we know it. You know,
No, not that you know it.
you're messed up over there. I saw it in your eyes.
George Washington.
Say it.
White man.
Now, white man.
Black and white.
Yeah, he was black. I mean, white. I'm sorry. Don't get me, he was white. He was a white man, and wait a minute. He was also a member of a secret society. He was a Freemason. He was a 33-degree Mason, Masonic leader, and a secret member of the so-called Illuminati.
Abraham Lincoln.
Well, I'll tell you, to be frank with you, that's still in debate.
White man with traces of black.
That's still in debate on that because
What do you mean? You don't know if he's black or white?
here's what I'm saying. We're still researching that because, listen to me good. A lot of white men, okay, are coming forth now and saying that he was black. I don't accept that right away. We haven't finished our research on that. It's a possibility that he could have been black because we're not saying that he was black. It's a possibility because Queen Elizabeth the first was black and she was selling blacks as a slave. She was black. So it's possible that he was black. There are black scholars and white scholars coming out now saying that Abraham Lincoln was black, but we have not accepted that yet. We have to do more research on that.
Christopher Columbus.
He was white.
Oh, yeah. Henry VIII.
Black. How about Edward?
What about King?
What about Edward the Black Prince?
King George III?
All the Georges were black.
They were all black.
Okay, I got a good one then.
So were the Louis.
What about Prince Charles?
Which one?
The current
The
one.
current one? He's the devil. You look at him, look. Furthermore, let me say this. Since you asked that question, it was his organization that put a hit on his wife. So-called Princess Diane. Yeah, you're looking at her, and you're shaking your head like, man, how did they find that out? We know a lot of things. There was a professional hit put on her. You know why? Because she was pregnant and was about to marry a black man from Egypt. No response.
Can I just ask you?
Let's stay on that, but don't get away from the issue that I'm asking.
Does Chief High Priest Yeshaya speak for everyone?
No, we're all speaking the same thing. They all agree.
Do they all agree?
The immediate family in Britain, the royal family, they got traces of black in their background on their mother's side, coming from Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the last line of blacks. You know Queen Victoria, right? She was the last line of the blacks that was ruling England. She married into a white white that was up in office, while blacks were ruling. Just like when whites were ruling in the Roman Empire, when we first got into rulership in the Roman Empire under Septimius Severus, the black man, the other black man. Okay?
We got a good one.
Why did you didn't make a comment when he mentioned the name?
I'm trying to stay focused. We got
No,
to
stay focused. I want you to stay focused.
Okay.
September Severus. Can you focus that?
This is going to cover the other stuff, Brian. So can we
Yeah,
do
we're a little different.
really?
You're just going to be vague, September Severus. All right, why don't we England? You asked me about Prince Charles and his house there. He's a white man. You can see he's white. You can see that the old Queen Mother that's over there and her mother. They're all white, but they're not a part of British royalty.
Prime Minister Tony Blair.
Why are you going to ask me this question? Why are you even asking me that question? He looks just like you.
You said black people could look white.
That's true.
So
But Tony Blair, he's coordinated.
Caucasian.
He appears to be Caucasian. Not unless we find some records later on that proves that his ancestral lineage is that of the people of Ireland that were black, which are the white Celts, and so on. They were black.
okay, I got a really good one. What about me?
I don't know. I don't know your background. I don't know what your mother and your father were. You could be one of us, for all I know.
Yeah, okay.
You would have to give me your ancestral lineage according on your father's, on your father's side. You said, what about yours? Start the question again.
What about me?
You appear to be Caucasian, but that doesn't mean anything. If we find out that your ancestral lineage on your father's side is that of one of the prominent tribes of Israel, that's what you are. But you would have to be able to prove that in your family tree.
Let me say this too. And when Christ come back, he said that he's going to separate who's who, who's in who, and all that. Because the angels know who everybody's lineage is. Where we might not know what your lineage is. You might not know. But the angels in Christ know.
They know.
Who are Israelites, whose seed go under the man's side. Because the man carries the seed. Remember I said to you that they have a taint of black in them. Charles, Queen Elizabeth over there, they have a taint of black in them. Why? Because it's coming off their mother's side, Queen Victoria, whose parents were black. As you go back into the family line.
Right. I can give you an example.
Can we look at the
Let me say this to you. Listen, there's people living today that you think are white. Listen, there's people that you swear are white today. They're black. For example, a famous saint looks like a white man. Dances like a black man. Sings like a black man. But he looks like a white man. He's a black man. Tom Jones.
Tom Jones is black.
That's right. Tell him why.
Who?
Because his father was black. His mother was white.
Tom Jones is black.
That's right.
Tom Jones is black.
He came out and said it. He came out and told Wilson Pickett that. That's a dirty little secret that they keep it hidden in England. Not only him, Hugh Brenner, the actor that played, he played the Pharaoh. He played the Pharaoh this time.
We missed the beginning of it. Did not only him.
Yeah, quite a few people. Hugh Brenner
Yul Brynner.
was black.
Who else?
There's quite a few. I mean, it'll take me a time. It'll take me a while.
Elvis Presley.
Nah, he's white. But
The
as
Beatles.
far as we know,
The Beatles.
let me make that clear. As far as we know, Elvis Presley is white. The Beatles, I don't know the background. I know the Little Richard said they couldn't sing.
This is a book. This is a book called Nature Knows No Color Line. Okay? This gives the grandmother of Queen Victoria. That's who you're looking at. The grandmother of Queen Victoria. Okay? Remember I said they got traces of black in them? That's the grandmother of Queen Victoria.
Why are you looking at white on the picture?
The wife of King George.
So we got, you know what? So we got focus.
Yeah, I think basically, is it possible for us to move on to your mission about the second coming? Obviously, that's very
No problem.
forefront of your mind. We're running out of
No
time.
problem. No problem.
What we, I mean,
name that you got here?
I want to be black.
No, wait a minute, I know,
Listen,
I already know that.
listen.
I want to know how you think you got here.
The first people on this earth were black. Everybody on this earth come out of black people. But God separated the black people into different nations. The black people into different nations. Okay? And he chose the nation of Israel. We're talking about Israelites now, who are Israelites, who is of the nation of Israel. We're not talking about all black people. You hear what I'm saying? Because everybody on this earth comes from black people.
Including you. How does that want to say something?
We just following through going on. We was talking about earlier, you was talking about the different families. Now, when the dark people in Europe, and even back in the time of King Solomon, and during the time of the Hasmonean dynasties and so forth, the tradition was, in order to make an alliance with another nation, one nation gave their daughter to, like King Solomon, he had many wives of other nations. And this is the same practice that happened during the Hasmonean dynasty as well. They gave their daughters into the Romans and the Greeks, and this is how it came to be a cross breed coming in with the Caucasian people, white people, and so forth, because they gave their wives. Even Alexander Haynes, which was the last lineage of the Hasmonean line, they married into the other Herodians, and so forth. And John the Baptist lost his head based on that same practice, because Herod had married into the line of Jewish women and so forth. Black women. And this is how these lineages came forth. The other nations came forth and took over the thrones and the kingdoms and so forth, because they betrayed their women and so forth.
So, can we?
Yeah, should we just, so is it possible for us to move on to
Yes,
the
we can
mission
move on.
of next year?
Yes.
Are you
We
okay
can move
with
on.
anything else?
Yeah, that's fine.
So-
I mean, if you want to take a break.
Yeah, that's not a problem. But you look very strange at me when I said that she has a lot of black features in her face. No, I mean, you look.
No, because yeah, maybe I did, but you did
No,
say.
you look very strange at me when I said that.
I think it's because I've got slight eyes.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with your eyes. You know what I'm saying? We're not judging by this, the color of your eyes. We're not judging you, period. But when I look at your facial features, your bone structure, your nose, your lips, and even the thickness of your hair and your ears and all of that, and your body structure, you could pass for a very light skin. This black woman walking around the hall look identical to you. You could get away with that. You could get away with being Puerto Rican. You have trouble.
What I'm saying, sir?
You have a lot of trouble.
Why?
Because you look more like Dennis the Menace, Sleepy Beaver, Father Knows Best, one of those type of guys. But you can still be an Israelite if you find out on your father's side that your ancestral lineage hooks up with the nation of Israel. So we're not judging you by your color. We don't know what you are because we haven't traced your history.
Thank you.
Get a clean question, though, about the
But she got a lot of black element in her. Look at her. She look a lot like a black woman in her face and in the structure of her face and her nose and her hair, her ears, and all that, her body and all that.
So,
I hope I didn't destroy a relationship by just saying that with anybody.
of course not.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say, so how do we move forward? What I'd like to do is see if I can ride along with some of you guys and see what you're doing and how you're bringing your message to the black community here in New York.
Our message is brought on TV. We have, what 30 cable TV shows? That's not 15. 15, we have over 15 different cable TV shows that reach worldwide. We go out on the street in different communities all over New York and continue to teach. Plus we have camps all over. That's what I'm saying. We have camps all over, and we have the church here. And we also have churches in different states. Well, the internet also.
So let's get it clear. Because
Mission also what mission for next year is.
yeah, okay. So what's the mission for the Israeli school as far as the coming year goes? Do you have any big plans ahead of you?
Yeah, to teach the word to the Most High until Christ comes.
Is he coming soon?
Yeah, according to the scriptures, he's coming soon. You the year 2000, according to scripture, is supposed to be the deadline. Okay? But it can happen before the year 2000, or it can happen right after the year 2000, within the year 2000. Because the time frame covers within that. But he left a space there. He said he's coming as a thief in the night. Okay? And you know when the thief is coming, you get ready for him, right? Okay, so you know like the hours that are coming, even though he gave prophecies concerning a certain hour and a certain day, it's still going to be a secret when he comes to the world. Okay? So we're in the time frame of it.
Yeah, very
So we're going to continue to teach.
Yeah, we don't have no spectacular plans as far as, there's a doomsday group that left America from Colorado, and they went to Israel, and they were planning on shooting it out with the cops, and they got locked up in jail. Then you have Heaven's Gate, they all committed suicide, they drank a beer, ate a slice of pizza, cut their penises off, and I thought that was suicide. They committed suicide by cutting their penises off and drinking a can of beer, eating a pizza, and wearing Michael Jordan sneakers. No, we're not that type of group. We're not going to commit suicide. We're not going to get revolutionaries together and get guns and go out and try to shoot white people down in the street. We're not going to try to fight it out with the cops. Christ is our defender. He's the one that's going to fight for us. And hey, we don't have to get a gun or knife or sticks to go out and advocate violence against whites. That's not what we're about. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, so I just want to make one thing clear. Could we just look at the movie coming soon? And if you ask,
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We have scriptures to back that up also.
right.
Is it coming soon?
Christ is coming very soon. He's coming within this millennium period, this new millennium period.
So in the next year or so?